I was in my early 20s. I got a good corporate job. I was making $50,000 a year, but I blew it all. Even though I was making good money, I was still living paycheck to paycheck. But I learned how money works and I became a self-made millionaire at the age of 30. And now in this video, I want to share with you guys some of the tips that helped me turn it all around. Number one is understanding how to hack your habit loop. A habit loop is something that happens unconsciously. And it's when your brain responds to a cue and then does what it's always done before. Because doing what it's always done is easy and rewarding. Your brain likes easy and rewarding. Now, part of the reason why I blew through this $50,000 a year salary is because I had a shopping problem. When we think of this in context with the habit loop, when you have a cue, this is your shopping trigger. Maybe it's something like having a bad day at work. Your brain kicks into automatic mode and it tells you what habit to use. This is when you get into the routine. So maybe you have a bad day at work. This is your cue. Then your response is stopping at your favorite store on your way home to go shopping. You anticipate buying something, which gives your brain a rush of dopamine. Then you buy something and stop focusing on your stress, and your brain sees this as the reward. This tells your brain that this habit loop is worth remembering and repeating in the future. To break the habit loop, you need to come up with a different routine so when you get the cue, something else happens here. So I want you to ask yourself, how else could you give your body what it's looking for? If you had a headache, maybe it's because you were dehydrated, so you'd drink some water, you'd give your body what it needs. If the cue, your shopping trigger, this is what you need to identify. If this happens when you're stressed, how else can you unwind? Call a friend, go for a run, listen to loud music in the car. You need to create a new habit that gives your body what it's looking for. The best habits are going to be the ones that add to your life in other ways. So going for a walk, great for your health. Calling a friend is filling up your social cup. If you get stuck in a situation where the cue has happened and you've fallen back into old habits and found yourself at the store, that's okay. You're going to pause, give yourself grace, and instead of buying something, you're going to walk around the store and you're going to make a list of all of the things that you want to buy. Creating this list gives you a dopamine hit. It's distracting you from whatever feeling you're trying to avoid, and it's making your brain feel like it accomplished something. This is giving yourself that reward. Then what I want you to do is make a rule with yourself that things need to stay on your list for X number of days, 7 days, 14 days, before you actually consider buying them. On the 7th day, the 14th day, whatever it is, you can go back to that list. And if you've completely forgotten about something that's on there, then you can take it off and you know that you're better off without it. If there's something on there that you haven't forgotten about, that you've been thinking about, dreaming about, that's going to serve you, grow you, or make you happy, and there's nowhere else that spending the money for that thing would have derived more happiness for you, because our goal should be to derive the most happiness possible out of every dollar that we spend, then get it. If you don't have the cash for it, you wait until you do. Make this a rule. If you find the desire to use your credit card to buy, here's what I want you to do. Bring awareness to what it is you are actually doing. And then say it out loud. I am taking a loan to buy a sweater. I am taking a loan to buy a pitcher of margaritas. Because that's what you're doing when you're buying on credit. And if you say that out loud and it doesn't feel good to you, then you know that you shouldn't do it. If you want to learn more about how to kick your shopping addiction and save money effortlessly without restriction, take our all new free training, Kick Your Shopping Addiction Masterclass. Grab your spot on our website.